everyone, my name is Jean and I'm so happy to have you guys for today's pick a card reading. So for today's video, we're going to talk about your married life. So we're going to explore the possibilities of the events that could be leading to your marriage, also some advice, and we're also going to explore the rewards and the good great things that will be coming out of the marriage aside from love and a lifelong happiness and companionship. So for today's video, I've prepared 3 piles for you guys to choose from. So we have here pile number 1 with this very small apatite crystal. And then we have pile number 2 with the green adventurine. And then we have pile number 3 with, I believe this is a jasper stone. I actually forgot. But if you know the name of the crystal, please let me know. And you can also choose based on the energy that you feel drawn to. For some of you, if you keep on seeing or hearing, let's say number 1, number 2, or number 3, that could also be an indicator for you to pick. Okay, so whichever one calls out to you the most, whether it be the crystal, the card, or the number, feel free to do so. And then once you're done selecting your pile, I'll go ahead and see you on your selected group. Hi pile number 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful blue apatite, this one is for you. So let's explore the cards one by one to give us an insight on what your married life would be like. So by the way, this is covering at least the first 5 up until the 10th year of your marriage. And as a disclaimer, at the end of the day, the choices that we make will always determine our future. Anyway, let's go ahead and proceed with the first card. So I know this is quite far, but the first card, this is from the Romance Angels card. This is actually the Healing Family Issues card. So what I'm seeing here is that for the first message that the spirit guides, or even your future self, the thing that they want to let you know is that before you enter into this marriage, or before you enter married life, or even a committed relationship kind of life, the first message is for you to address family issues first. Now, I'm seeing it with the fog card appearing next to your reading that there's this tendency for you to look at marriage, love, and marriage with rose-colored glasses. Now, it's not exactly like a bad thing because whether we're young or we're old, we should always look at entering into a marriage as something that's a great addition to your life. It should always be filled with happiness, with excitement. Okay, so it's not that it's a bad thing to enter it with that enthusiasm and happiness. Now, fog in here or veiled is just saying that yes, it's good, but be careful or be aware of the tendency for it to be too happy. Okay, for you, just avoid the tendency for you to look at it with too much happiness, more than it actually is, that you tend to forget the realistic parts of it. Now, I'm not married, so I'm really not at the best stand to give further advice about this. But basing it all on just the reading you have here, the lightning card, power. So be careful because there's this tendency that if you do enter into marriage with very, very too overly positive outlook, there's this tendency that it might strike you. Lightning might strike you very, very hard. And we all know that whether literally or figuratively, it's not going to be a good sign. And then you have here also the peaceful card. So the peaceful card is saying that even if okay, you do enter, let's say you do enter in this, and then all of a sudden your expectations about how it should be didn't really, match what's actually really happening. Peaceful card in here is giving you a positive message saying that, nonetheless, it's still going to work out. Like, there's still this great possibility that it would work out. And in fact, for some of you, okay, I'm also seeing that there is this great possibility that the family issue, okay, that you have been going through ever since you were a child, okay, these negative feelings that you have been burying or maybe not have a difficult time addressing. So there's this possibility that, within your own marriage, you will be able to find comfort, closure, and even understanding about it. So there's also this great possibility that, it could be possible that, you may have entered this with a certain level or degree of brokenness, of hurt, pain, disappointment. But nonetheless, there's also that possibility that all of these feelings, all of this negative effects, this dark chapter, it might be healed, okay, through this marriage. Now, with the tarot card, so just a summary for this one. It's saying that yes, you're going to get here, but okay, there's going to be a lot of things to face, to deal with. Now, this time we're going to use the tarot. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so going back, let's go with the tarot card. So the tarot would actually give us more insights about what would happen after the wedding. So, the first few months, years of your marriage, and how that, first initial situations could possibly end. So we have here the Princess of Wands, or in traditional tarot, usually they call this the Page of Wands. And this one appearing in your reading, I'm seeing that the first few months, weeks, well, let's go with months, even years, okay? It's gonna be very blissful, okay? You're going to feel like you're married to your best friend, there's a lot of fun involved. Communication is very open, it's very easy. Basically, being with your future spouse, it's so much fun. Like, it's almost as if you both can spend a day without each other, okay? Like, you're going to be so dependent towards one another. I'm seeing that for you, and I'm also seeing the possibility that within the early days, times of your marriage, there's already going to be a child involved. So it could be that you're marrying into someone who already has a child, or it could be you who already has a child and then entering into a marriage or another marriage. Or it could be that there's going to be a child already within the first months. Or it's also possible that for some of you, the discussion, the talk, or the decision to have a child is something that's not yet cemented, within your marriage. So regardless, there's still aside from the having children issue, it's still going to be a fun, light-hearted kind of relationship, okay, connection, communication. And then we have here the Emperor. So the Emperor is when after, like, there's actually the stages of marriage. I'm really sorry I haven't had it memorized, but usually it's the honeymoon stage, right? So this is what happens after the honeymoon stage. You get the Emperor card. So it's not to say that everything's going to suddenly turn bad. This is a reflection that after the Page of Wands or the honeymoon stage moment, you get the Emperor situation. So the Emperor situation, or the Emperor in here, is saying that after a while, so you have so much fun and all, after a while there seems to be some parts of your personalities that comes out, okay, that you haven't really recognized within each other. So, you may start to see qualities about your partner that you haven't seen before, haven't met before. And the same goes to your spouse. They may be seeing some parts of you that they never really saw before. And it could also be that, there are certain parts of your own personality that you never thought existed. Or it could also be a shadow kind of thing wherein that part of your personality that you're trying to hide comes out in the open. Okay. And another thing is that during this stage, after the honeymoon stage, you start to establish some boundaries, towards one another. And it starts with, simple things that eventually, you know, um, becomes a little bit heavy on the long run. So the Emperor card in here is not to, signal that the marriage is on the rocks. The Emperor card is, a time wherein you start to compromise, you start to establish things between you and your partner. Okay, that's why you have the Emperor card. So, putting your foot down. Okay, so this is where you start to lay down your non-negotiables with each other that, when you were still dating or at first were okay, but then later on, as time goes by, you realize that, oh, okay, these are things that I really need to, to be firm about, that I really need to see happen. And then you have here the Devil card in reverse. So, the Devil card in reverse is pretty much like a cause and effect or a consequence to the Emperor card situation. So this is where the fights start to kick in. Okay, so this is when both of you start to realize that, okay, this is overwhelming. There you go. The word is overwhelming. You both start to overwhelm each other, and suddenly the good parts of the marriage, now not that they disappear, it's just that, you start to see the other side of marriage. It's not just the good parts, and you realize that, this is something that you really can't get yourself out of. Well, you can, but it's just not going to be that easy. So the Devil card is, signaling that after a while, okay, you start to have this very, very major event in your lives as a couple, married couple, wherein you you know you start to rethink things. In here, I'm also seeing the possibility that, one of you or both of you would be cheating, unfortunately. Okay, so, this is going to be a tumultuous or bad, a challenging time, but not to fret. Pile number one. Afterwards, you have here the Four of Wands. So, so far I'm really seeing a lot of fire energy cards. So this is this is a passionate kind of connection that you have between each other. And I'm really seeing that in spite of, these two these two things happening. Okay, all throughout your marriage, you just have this love and passion and commitment towards one another. So we have here the Four of Wands right after the Devil card in reverse. So it's saying that, all of a sudden you both come to your senses again. Okay, so it's saying that there's always that possibility. So that the Devil card, or, the Devil kind of situation will be happening, but then at the same time, you go back to your roots. You go back to the reason why you both chose each other, why you married each other. You go back to all of those things. You go back to the reason why you love each other and the commitment that you both made. And I'm also seeing that, communications will start to level up. Okay, the approach would be more mature in here, and all of a sudden you both start to realize that, this is not just a relationship that you have, but you suddenly that, this thing that you're both fighting for, fighting to establish, keep, maintain, this is your home. Okay, Four of Wands is saying that, you will both start to realize that this is not just a marriage that you're trying to save, but this is a home that you actually feel happy to be with, and you just don't want it to go away just like that easily. No. And then you have here the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, so I know that Hierophant is usually a good card, so don't worry about it being in reverse. It's simply saying that within these things happening in your in this new life that you have, which is again the married life. It's saying that some there will be some things eventually that you will learn to let go of, okay, because you're going to make some room for some other new things. And this is also saying that you should this in this deck, the interpretation of the Hierophant is a reverse pyramid kind of thing. So as we all know, a pyramid is very strong. So again, what it means in relation to this reading is that there are some things, there may be something, some principles, some non-negotiables, some beliefs, values, okay, that you didn't expect to let go of after all of the things that you have gone through. Okay, so this is talking about shedding some beliefs, some values that you never thought you would do. And the eye appearing in this card, in this interpretation, is seeing that it's not because you're shedding these beliefs not out of compromise, but you're shedding or renewing yourself these beliefs because of the things that you have experienced. Okay, because I'm hearing this thing wherein you just come to realize that the person that you were in the past, in the recent distant past, is no longer the person that you will become in the future. Thus, there had been some changes in what you believe in, what you hold on to, the convictions that you have. Okay, so there's going to be a renewed sense of self, which again is not a bad thing. Okay, and again, going back to this card, peaceful. So the Hierophant being in reverse here is not actually a bad thing. Okay, it's actually ultimately going to lead you to peace. Okay, although another indication here. So there's also, but okay, honestly, there's also this possibility that if these things are not addressed properly, so if ever that you both give in to the temptation of this being hard and all, there's still a possibility that Hierophant is talking about tradition. So there's also that possibility, as with all things, for you to break up. But then again, the peaceful card appearing in this reading is simply saying that regardless of whether you stay in the marriage or leave, always look for something that where you would find peace. Okay, and it's not saying which, again, this is a general reading, so it's not saying which path you should actually take, because not every relationship is created equally. So it's still calling out to you to trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust in your experience, and and lastly, hold on to the belief rather in your own marriage, your own relationship. Okay, so only only you and your partner can answer these things. But still, nonetheless, I wish you all the best in your endeavors, pile number 1. So hopefully you like this video, hopefully this was able to help, and hopefully I get to see you on the next video. Bye bye. Hi pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So if you have chosen the green aventurine, this reading is for you. So we're going to talk about the cards one by one and what they signify, okay, what they represent. So we're going to start off with the Romance Angels card. Now this one, it talks about your own general emotions, feelings, views about marriage or married life or having a partner in general. And you have the trust card. So to be honest, pile number two, when I was shuffling your card, the trust card was actually in reverse. So what I'm getting from this one is that for it's either recently or for most of the time, you may have a hard time trusting people, especially when it comes to a romantic relationship. So it could be that with the wolf card being beside your trust card, it could be that for most of the time you guys may have been single, or it's either that you would consider yourself as someone who is emotionally unavailable, or someone who is pretty much afraid of commitment. So there's this story that I'm getting wherein you know um there's been difficulty trusting people, and this is not something that's entirely, no, not even entirely, this is something that's not your fault. Pile number two, this is pretty much this is pretty much a reaction of the things that have happened to you. Okay, so I'm also getting that you guys have a very strong personality. So strong personality, by that I mean someone who is very resilient, someone who will not back down, who will not give up when faced with a challenge. So someone who's just very tough, okay, and very strong. And with the wolf card appearing in your reading, I'm also seeing that, aside from being tough, being strong, you guys are also wise and smart. Okay. Now for this card, I'm seeing that for most of you, you may be currently, okay, or in the past, you may be someone who is a lot more interested with, your career, building your career, or just overall pretty much enjoys a lot of your me time being with yourself. With the wolf card appearing in here, the lone wolf, someone who enjoys their own company, someone who is just a great thing, okay, someone who is your own best friend. And then all of a sudden you have the fairies card appearing in your reading. So I'm seeing that your path towards marriage is actually, for the lack of a better term, magical. Okay, with these two cards appearing first in your reading, I'm seeing that at before meeting this very special person in your life, most of the time you guys are practical, realistic, yeah, straight to the point kind of, that kind of thing. Like you're very businessy. You're very straightforward. You're analytical. You're more logical. Okay, as a person. So you pretty much prefer to use your head rather than your heart. So with the fairies card appearing in here, it's like all of a sudden this magic, okay, comes along into your life, and it just made you believe and see things that usually you didn't understand. Okay, so before, you don't get why, like for example, this is just for example, like if before you don't get why people do this crazy things, unreasonable things for someone, just for one person, all of a sudden, without you realizing, you would understand and realize that you may be in that position already, wherein you've been doing crazy things or things that you won't normally do just for one person. And it could also be the other way around, like you may get to experience things that you never thought you would experience. So it may be in the form of being given, what I'm seeing is handmade gifts. So it could be as sweet and tangible as receiving a gift, or seeing someone put a lot of effort into a gift or into something that you want, to something as deep as being forgiven, being understood, someone sticking by your side even though normally you would see people leave. So things like that. So the road towards you selecting your future spouse is nothing short of magical. Okay, nothing sort of fantastic, great. Like, think of Disney, a Disney kind of meetup with your special someone. And then you have here the reward. Okay, so I'm going to talk about more about this card being in your reading, but just to say the least at this point, it's to say that this marriage, or you being in a marriage, the upcoming marriage or spouse in your life, it's going to give you lots of reward. Okay, now for us to understand further about, or to get a better picture about your married life, let's all go to the tarot card portion of your reading. And then for your first card, you guys got the Lover's card. And another thing that I want to point out before I read the Lovers in your reading, so there's actually a lot of air sign energy in your cards. So air sign is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So it could be that that's your sign, or you have that in your placement, or this might be the sun sign, or the placement, significant placement of your future spouse, especially if it's in the Venus. Okay, yeah, Venus sign. So, going back, okay, we have here the Lovers in the first card of your reading. So, this is actually, okay, my pointer and the flamingos look alike. Anyway, well, a lot of pinks, that's what I'm noticing. So, a lot of happiness, and a lot of energy, where it gives you that vibe of takes me back to when I was younger. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this marriage, okay, is going to give you so many youthful feelings. Okay, so you're going to, with this person, you're going to feel like younger again. You're going to feel like a teenager if you're around the older age range. But basically, it's just going to feel young love again. It's like you're gonna go through all of that stuff when you've had your first crush, your puppy love, that excitement and all. You're going to go about and feel that way. And another thing that I'm getting with the Lover's card in your reading is that, most of you, if not all of you, you'll be marrying into your soulmate. So this is not just a future spouse. This is, a strong indication that it's a soulmate. It could even be that, this is a past life connection wherein you've already met before in your past life, and now you're going to meet again. You're going to be reconnected again. And, there's also this indication that, you're going to marry into someone who is, one, very much like you, and two, complementing, opposite you, but complementing you all at the same time. Okay, so usually they see that there's no such thing as a perfect match, but for you guys, it's just going to be like that. It's both a perfect match, and at the same time, it's going to be a relationship where a lot of things just works out perfectly fine. Okay, so you have that. And then next card here, you have the Four of Cups. So this is actually, honestly, kind of like a roller coaster kind of feeling, emotion, or situation. So you both feel happy, and then all of a sudden, something kicks in. So Four of Cups is giving me that, this is more of a personal issue. It's either from you or from your future spouse. But nonetheless, okay, there's going to be feelings wherein the old habits kick in, is what I'm hearing. So let's say, for instance, you're well into your marriage, everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden there's just one event. Okay, for most of you, I'm seeing that it could just take one situation, one event, or small, seemingly insignificant things suddenly just building up and turning into one giant thing, one giant situation. It just takes one trigger, basically. Takes one trigger for you or this person to get this assumption, or thinking that this might have been a mistake. Okay, because again, there's the wolf energy is on the first part of your thing. well going into the marriage. So this emotion, quality, personality, thinking, even though a magic happens, it's still, ironically, it just doesn't magically go away. It's still there deep inside, pretty much like part of the shadow self. Okay. And then you know afterwards, after this, we have the 10 of Swords energy, but in reverse. So all of a sudden, okay, everything's going well, and then the trigger happens, and then the main thing that's going to happen, or the main energy, is fear. Okay. So with just one trigger, all of the fears, the disappointments, it's pretty much like a Pandora's box kind of thing. Like, it just all of a sudden opens up again, all at the same time. You start to remember either something that happened in your previous relationship, or something that happened during your family life, okay, when you were growing up. And this is something that you feel or afraid could potentially hurt the other person, or your family, if your children, if you're planning to have one. So there's this fear of one being hurt, or fear of hurting the person, your partner. Or it could even be both, fear of hurting anyone along this process. So within, all of a sudden, everything was going well, something triggers, something happens, and then you suddenly realize that you might want to go out of this marriage, or being married in general. So it's like there's this waiting, preparation for an end to the actual relationship. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, going back. So 10 of Swords, okay, in reverse, okay. So it's in hindsight, in summary, it's saying that there's this sense, okay, not that it's actually happening or that it's the reality, but there's this already sense of defeat, that the marriage will not work out. And then you have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So I just want to take note that the previous card, 10 of Swords, if we'll take a look at it closer, it's actually a woman, and tragically, she is being held up by 10 swords across her body, like across herself. So she's really imprisoned. And if that would happen to an actual person, which God hope it doesn't, it's not only imprisoning someone's body, but also their mind, spirit, moral, everything else. And then you have here the Knight of Swords in reverse. He or she, the knight in general. The knight is also holding a sword, but being in reverse, I'm seeing that in with regards to your reading, I'm seeing that because you you may have this fear within you of being abandoned, this fear that this won't work out. Your knight, okay, in the form of your spouse, future spouse, your knight will know what to do and also what not to do. Okay, they will not feed you these thoughts that your relationship, your companionship will not work out. Okay, they will do things, everything to calm you down, okay, and to make sure that you feel, see, hear, understand, know that you're loved, and that your spouse is actually very very much committed to you. Okay, so again, you have the Disney kind of relationship, you guys. Okay, so yes, it's very romantic actually. And Knight of Swords in here saying that there's also a strong sense of respect for your own personal space. So because your future spouse understands who you are, okay, part of the thing about them being your soulmate, because they understand that you're someone who got used to being alone, being independent, taking care of yourself. Like, they will actually know what to do, and they will give you all of the space, resources that you need for you to take that time off for yourself. Like, they will actually respect that. Okay, and Okay, it's saying that, they will be there. And again, it's also an indication that, trust, hope, believe that this person, okay, whoever they might be, they will not do anything intentionally to hurt you. Now, it's not to say that you will not get hurt by this person. Okay, so in in the real world, unfortunately, it's just not possible. Like, and this is across all kinds of relationship, whether it's a love relationship, a friendship, family relationship, whatnot. It's just not possible that even no matter how much some people love each other, there's still that tendency to hurt them. But one of the big question is, was that you know situation intentional? Like, did they really intend to hurt you, or was this just something that's an effect of our own human weaknesses? So it's saying, it's giving that it's the latter. For this person, it's the latter. They will never do anything intentionally to hurt you. Everything that they're doing is always for your own benefit and the benefit of your own marriage. And then lastly, you have the star card in here, and as promised, we go back to the reward card. So the star card in here is saying that in general, in hindsight again, there's a lot of great things to look forward to, in your marriage, in married life in general. Okay, so these things, these rewards may be something that for now, if you haven't met that person, you might not be able to understand. But it's also saying to hold on to it. Okay, whether you have already met the person, and so just hold on to it. Okay, there will be great things for you to hold on to believe in. It's actually great. Okay, so just me starting to realize that you have here the star, and then it's seems like it's wrapped in a gift, and then you have reward. So it's saying that you and this person being together might actually be one of the best things that could happen to your lives. Reward in here and the star. So it's saying that within the spirit of you not the spirit of you being together, you're going to bring out the best in each other. So if before you had these goals, these dreams that, or maybe even currently in your life wherein you have some difficulty in achieving some goals, dreams, hopes, realization. So reward here is saying that this person and you to this person in return, you will be each other's biggest cheerleaders. You will support each other, you'll be there for each other, you help out each other, love each other all throughout the way. And reward in here is saying that aside from receiving actual rewards from this marriage, the marriage itself is the actual reward and gift for both of you in your own lives, as an individual and as a couple. Okay, so that is it for us. Pile number 2. I hope you liked this reading. I hope this was able to help. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I get to see you on the next videos. Bye-bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So if you have chosen this lovely crystal, this one is for you. So I'm still thinking if this is an ocean jasper. If you do know the name of this crystal, please comment down below. Anyway, so we're going to talk about each card and what they represent per reading. Okay, so again, the question is your married life, the feelings, situations leading towards it, and the rewards, things, great things that you will experience from this connection. So starting off, we have the getting to know each other romance angel card, and we have the river card. So I'm seeing here for you, pile number 3, that you either, well, a lot of things. Okay, so check which one of these resonates with you. One, it could be that you actually have no plans of getting married at all. Like, you're not interested. You see marriage as something that's not really aligned with your own life goals, or maybe something that's not within your priority. Could be that. And it could also be that for some of you, you will be entering into an arranged marriage kind of thing. Okay, so um, it could be that you're going to comply, okay, conform to an arranged marriage that is well arranged for you, set for you, even something that happened before you were born or when you were very young, or I don't know, when you reach the right age, so something like that. Or another thing is that you suddenly found yourself in a situation wherein for practical this is for practical reasons that you're getting married. It could be that, well, one, for some of you, you may be marrying so that you can obtain a certain document or a certain standing. That's one. Or it could be that you're marrying because you're trying to avoid the situation wherein there's going to be shame and guilt on your part or on your family's part, things like that. So the getting to know each other reading here or card here is giving us a message that the person that you might possibly be wedding or getting married into is either one, something that you don't really know that well, because again, because of the factors mentioned, or to it could be that within, and this is a big possibility, within, before you enter that marriage, you actually, since you have that thought that this is not something that was your own first hand decision, you may have this close minded thinking about both marriage and this person. So the message of both your higher self and your the energy of the reading, the universe, is to getting to know each other. Try to give your future spouse a chance still, nonetheless, like give it a chance, give it a try. River here, okay, movement, it speaks about your own independent energy and the way that you're like river, like going with the flow, like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, so let's see where it takes us. So like a river, let's see where it takes us, let's see where it goes. So right now, or maybe in the future when that does happen, you're going to be in an autopilot sorry, English is not my first language, sorry. You're gonna be in this autopilot kind of mode wherein okay, fine, I'll do this. And there, it's even possible that for some of you may have some sort of resentment to it. For some of you, most of you, I'm seeing that it's just really you going with the ebb and flow of things, you just going along with things. It's pretty much like how a river just goes along to direct the direction of where it's supposed to be. And then mountain in here is saying that this is something that is really a destiny of yours. And the vision in here is saying that not to fret. Okay, so again, considering the circumstances, okay, the events of the marriage, mountain is saying that this will actually lead you to a great path. Okay, so the mountain appearing in your reading is saying that, okay, so yes, this is something that you didn't want firsthand. This is something that's part of your own plan, okay, your own decision, or maybe it was, but again, this is not something that you would really like to do out of love, but out of other reasons, practicality or other things. But nonetheless, mountain in here saying, yes, be strong about it, because you may not see it yet, you may not understand it yet, but okay, vision in here is saying that it will actually be a gateway. It will lead you towards great things. So this is actually an adventure towards the things or something that you really want in life. Okay, so it's saying that yes, this may not be planned, but this is not actually a bad thing. Okay, so whoa, okay, it's an interesting spread, you guys. Now, for the next part of the reading, we have the tarot cards, and the tarot cards will give us more insights about the actual situation after the wedding and within the marriage. So the time projection from this one is probably from marriage, the start of marriage inception, up until on the latter part, like around 5 to 10 years from the date. All right, so we have for the first card the Princess of Swords, or in traditional tarot, this is the Page of Swords, and it's in reverse. Okay, followed by the Ten of Wands. Now, these cards as a group, they seem to reflect your own and your partners as well, a resignation towards this fate. But hold on, okay, I promise you the rest of the reading is not going to be as bad, okay, as you think it is. So Princess of Swords is saying that this may not be something, again, pretty much like a confirmation from the first part, like this wasn't something that you have planned, okay, but nonetheless, okay, in spite of it, Ten of Wands saying this is still something that you're going to push through. And okay, we're also seeing another thing. Hold on. Oh, okay. And there's another group where I've said this again, but these two cards, the colors of it, okay, it's big, pastel or bright color something. So it's also saying or giving that yes, this is not something that you've planned, and yes, this is something just you're just going to go forward with, because out of those things, necessities or whatnot. But this is also something that you didn't realize, you didn't expect would also bring you an unexpected kind of happiness, glee. Okay. So we have here King of Swords followed by the Ten of Wands. Okay, so if you notice, in here, the woman, she's carrying a lot of burden within herself. Okay, and then it seems like with the King of Swords in here, it seems like the man is just looking. Okay, so it's giving the energy that yes, there's still this possibility that traditional expectations regarding a marriage could happen within this companionship, within this connection. But the Seven of Swords being in reverse is also saying that it's not actually going to be as bad as you expect it to be. So it's also saying that this connection, this marriage, is still going to respect your own boundaries as you wish. I'm sorry about that. I've got a bit lost, so please bear with me. Anyway, King of Swords. Okay, so again, the marriage isn't actually going to be as bad as you think it is. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of color blues in your card, and as confirmed, we have the Seven of Swords being in reverse. So, again, this marriage is not as bad, and not only that, it's also going to be unexpectedly great and happy for you. Like, yes, this was not, something that you wanted, but this is pretty much like a case of you not getting what you want, but in return, you're liking what you got. Okay, so in the long run, you're going to realize that, oh, okay, this is unexpectedly working. Okay, despite it not being something that, well, like what we mentioned, like something that was an actual plan, at least with the specific person in mind. This is actually turning out great, as like you want it to be. In fact, I'm also seeing the possibility that because there's this arrangements happening, I'm also seeing that there's going to be a great level of trust within both of you, and also a great amount of freedom. So, without you, both of you, okay, sorry, let me just restart. Yeah, there's going to be an um a unique sense of freedom. So it's possible that for most of you within this marriage, you can actually do almost everything that you want. Okay. So yeah, like literally almost anything. And in return, it's also going to give a sense of security, okay, within you and your partner. Okay. Now, I also want to point out that the Seven of Swords in reverse in your card is also saying that, there's this possibility that it's going to bring happiness, and at the same time, there's going to be a lot of agreements and transactions within your own marriage. And, don't have to worry about the transactions thing, because in third, it's also going to be very doable on your end, okay? As long as, like, I'm hearing that there's this thing wherein, as long as you're meeting certain conditions and they're not really unattainable, like, you're going to both be very happy within your own marriage. Yeah, and then there's this message here that, you don't really, well, you don't really have to put your guard really high. Okay, so you can actually trust this person. Okay, you can trust this person. And another thing that I'm seeing, okay, there's also a strong, yeah, there's a strong air sign energy in here. So you or your partner may be a Libra, an Aquarius, or a Gemini. Okay, or it could also be that, this connection is going to bring unexpected amounts of fun within you. Okay, so you're going to realize that, yeah, aside from it not working out, you're actually going to realize that this is so much fun. Okay, and the Justice card being in here is actually saying that, even though you have this so much freedom within your marriage and that you can actually do anything that you want, you might actually start, both of you might actually start to realize that, this is work also unexpectedly working out way better than you would have planned. So Justice card in here is also giving us another interpretation that, that in the long run, you actually have this option to end, to terminate this marriage. And if you do, okay, it's going to be like a smooth process for you. But for most of you, I'm seeing that, the Justice card being in reverse is saying that, you can. It's a situation of you can, but you won't. Okay. So in the long run, it's actually you starting to realize that you, both of you might actually want to really spend time with each other. And it's not just because of a contract, of a social expectation, or a requirement, but in the long run, this is going to be something that, you both choose to happen this time. So it's like this, okay? Both of you entering into the marriage is not something that you both firsthand agreed into, but both of you staying in this marriage, in this relationship, is something that, you both have finally decided to make it work. So, so again, there's that message, okay? Like, also another thing, okay, again, the Justice card in here is in this deck, okay, is interpreted as someone, like a person actually holding the scale. But this being in reverse is saying that, you actually, in general, okay, in terms of your own destiny, like, you actually have more control of your destiny more than you think you have. Okay, and this is actually kind of a comforting message as compared to the one that we had earlier, wherein, you were doing things out of necessity. But in the long run, you're going to realize and see with the vision in here that, and then in the end, in the long run, you have more control of your destiny, and you will take advantage of this, different or acquired sense of freedom that you have. vision in here is saying that, again, for the long term, in the end, everything that you've manifested, okay, vision, I'm hearing the word vision board, everything that you manifested, everything that you wanted, needed, you don't have to worry because it will come for you at the right place at the right time. So, my loves, just trust the process and it will all come for you. Okay, so that is it for us, pile number 3. I hope you like this video and hope you like this message. Hope this was able to help, and again, hopefully I also get to see you on the next videos. So bye bye for now.